Hey, yo, what's up, y'all? You know it is your boy Triple, man. DOHGH, man. We in the building. Now, today, like I said, we are taking a look at Contra ReBirth. Now, there is one small little point I do want to touch on before we begin, because I failed to do it yesterday when I talked about gradients, so I will now. Now, if you haven't figured it out yet, or you're just hopping into the middle of the review. Now, gradients, Contra, and Castlevania, the ReBirth series as a whole, they're just new takes and homages to previous games in their series. Now, it would seem that from first inspection that Gradius and Contra most definitely have their ties in Super Nintendo roots, but the Castlevania Adventure ReBirth game, it looks more like DS games, and then when you look back at like Contra, it looks kind of like Contra 4 a little bit, and Gradius hasn't had a DS game yet, at least as far as I know. But, you know, it is what it is. So let's just go ahead and get started. Now, we are taking a look at Contra ReBirth. Now, I will let you know something before we begin. This is the PAL version of the game. There's a reason why I had to call in a favor to get this, to review it for this game, so you'll see at the end of this video, and trust me, you won't be disappointed. Now, the thing about Contra ReBirth is that unlike yesterday when we talked about Gradius, is that Contra is kind of sort of lost in canon, as I'd like to say, because it's real hard because of what the story gives you to really put a finger on where this exactly happens, if at all. Now, the only clue that I know about that makes any sense is that Jube's in the game. So, if Jube's in the game, then you automatically have to assume that this takes place somewhere after Neo Contra happens. When and where, you know, the game kind of tells you, but then when you look at the game based on that, it kind of brings you back to a point before Neo Contra happens, so you don't really know what to believe. So for right now, until somebody tells me different, I'm just going to keep my assumption that this happens after Neo Contra. It just makes sense that way in my head, doesn't hurt as much. Now, throwback to Contra 3, the Alien Wars, or Probotech, Guidal, or whatever you want to call it. Now, welcome to Contra ReBirth. Now, unlike Gradius, this game isn't really option heavy, because do you really need a game that's option heavy about dudes who run around half naked and shoot at aliens? I didn't think so. Now, here's your options menu. Now, we're just going to skip all that, because if you don't know what music and sound effect volume is, whatever. Now, difficulty settings. Now, when you start the game, you have easy, normal, and hard. And when you beat the game on hard, you unlock Nightmare. Now, easy and normal unlock stuff, and I'll get into what they unlocked in a minute, so just hold tight. Now, player lives, you can choose between 3 of the defaults. You can have a max of 7. I can keep it at 7. The game got infinite continues anyway. What's it going to hurt? You can adjust the screen. And now, here's the controller settings. Now, what I'll probably get into tomorrow if I don't forget, but I might as well do it now. Contra and Castlevania ReBirth has something that Gradius does not. That it actually has a Wiimote function when you swing it. In this game, it's to change your weapons from one to the other. And in Castlevania Adventure ReBirth, it's a little more fun because you can actually swing the whip when you use the either the Wiimote by itself or the Wiimote and the nunchuck. So you can completely play the game with just Wiimote nunchuck and just swinging the Wiimote the whole way through Castlevania. I haven't tried it yet. I might do it on easy. But, you know, it is what it is. You can set your buttons. It's real configurable. Now, when you get down to the classic controller and the GameCube controller, it really comes down to preference to what you want to use. I use the GameCube controller. The classic controller, they both work equally. The GameCube controller, because it has more buttons, has more options for you to choose what you want, and you can get it a little more configured to your taste. The classic controller is the same way, you know, so it is what it is. So my suggestion is if you're going to use the classic controller or the GameCube controller, just play around and find out what feels comfortable to you. And you can do your credits and default to settings. And it's going to say, because I adjusted it, and I want to put it on Nightmare, because that's the difficulty I had it on in the first place. Now, you're going to get a little bit of the story, and you're going to get a nice little today Rex Soprano nose facts. Now, if you take a look at the screen now, if you read the sentence, It says Chief Salamander's Neo-Salamander force travels back to 1973 AD to invade Earth. You can ignore everything in that sentence except the word salamander. Keep the word salamander in mind because in a couple of sentences it's going to make no sense except if you've ever played Gradius before. Now, for some reason, they go to South America. I don't know whether they were there, to investigate the locals or get cracked, but whatever. Now, as usual, the aliens want to destroy humans. Why? I don't know. We ain't done that to y'all, so I hate folks. And with the Earth surrounded by Zelo Force, the galactic president decides, ignore everything but the word Zelo Force. Now, here's your Red Soprano fact for today. Zelo Force is the final boss in the game Salamander. Also in Life Force on the Nintendo as well, but the boss has changed up a tad because the game has changed up. So, they didn't forget that that they love putting those two little links together. I really don't think that Contra and Gradius are linked, but they take place 4,000 years between each other, so who knows? And now the Galactic President wants to send Lance to fix the situation. Now, Lance was one of the original cats in the original Contra on the Nintendo and the arcade. But once he gets there, something happens, and you find out later what, and it surprises the hell out of everyone. Now, Bill Riley's like the aliens won't get away with this, and now he's going to get his AK-47 and start spraying them off of. Now, welcome to your character select. Now, this is going to be real cut and dry. Now, when the game came out, when I got it on my Japanese Wii, it was that I bought the game, and then I wrote a review about it for SRK, and then I tried to tier the characters, and now that I think about it, tiering the characters was a lot easier than it may look. It was harder to tier the weapons of the game than to actually tier the characters. Let's put it this way. Brownie, also known as Superman, who I will refer to as Superman for the rest of this review and anything further having to do with her and Contra, is the best character in the game. You want to know why? Superman can't be hit from the head up. Now you may think like, Rex, come on, her head is that small. Contra is about pixel-perfect precision. If you play Contra, you would know that, and if you don't, you're in for a rude awakening when you do. Though you make the wrong movement, turn to left and right, you're going to get a bullet in your ass. It's real simple. And like I say, Superman is real good because here's the kicker. Remember I told you that for each of the difficulties you unlock something? We already know hard unlocks Nightmare. You beat the game on easy, you unlock Superman. Now, the reason why that's so prevalent to what we're talking about now is because Superman makes this game easy. I will be honest with you. Beating this game on Nightmare took a whole lot of cussing and Superman to get it done. So I'm going to keep it 100. That because of her small sprite, she makes the game easier. And do you really want to run through the game with Bill, Jubei, or Pliskin when you got stuff shooting at you on Nightmare? Which I'll probably show you later if you're lucky. Now, Bill and Jubei, they are the in-between characters. Now, Bill and Jubei are just, it is what it is. They're normal characters. So they take hits like normal characters. But one thing that you should know, though, that there is no difference in ability, that no one jumps higher than anyone, that no one shoots their gun faster or anything. It's just that her sprite smaller and his sprite bigger. Best character in the game, worst character in the game. Now, see, I don't have to go to Pliskin. and explain it to you. Now, there is one more thing I do have to show you, and we're going to do that right now. Now, in the PAL version, when you hold both your shot and your jump button and press the plus button on the Wiimote, you get the debug menu. Now, what's really nice about the debug menu is you can do a couple of things. By pressing 1 on your Wiimote, you can make yourself invincible. It's really fun. It is. Running through the game without being able to get shot is fun, and the only way you can die is by jumping into a pit. Now, if you select any stage from here, you can select what character you want to play, even characters you haven't unlocked, and even difficulties you haven't unlocked yet. You can get yourself up to 99 men and choose any weapon in your second slot to start the game out with. Now, the only way you can get back to the title screen normally is by using the title, and by using the title debug. Only way you can watch every cutscene in the game. You can see the staff menu just like you would the option screen with no music. Now, here's what's fun. You can play the test one, just run around with the curtains and stuff. You know, just stuff around, stuff like that. And test two, if you play the game for the first time and access the debug menu, you can unlock Brownie without playing the game on easy. And you can select every stage in the game. Now, there is one thing I will leave you with before we get to part two. Is that the only way you can face the final boss on easy is through the debug menu. There's no other way to do it, at least as I know of, as I'm making this video right now. So this will end it for me. Now, when I come back, I got something special for y'all, man. I'm trying something new, so y'all just gonna have to ride and roll with me, man. So y'all know what it is. It's your boy Triple. We get money, holla at your boy.